First of all, let me thank the Digital India Summit organizer and Tech Observer for inviting me to share uh, the developments which have happened in India over a period of time in enabling digital empowerment and digital enablement of citizens across the country. So, a big thank you for inviting me and sharing the thoughts in this topic. First of all, let me try and explain to you that Digital India program started in 2015 has been the benchmark for starting a new engagement process with the communities, largely those living in rural India, of enabling them, empowering them, and creating an inclusive society using digital tools and technology. This has happened over a period of time, and the focus has been that digital tools and technology should not be used only as an instrument or as an enabler, but also create an inclusive society so that everyone in the country is able to get the benefit, get the necessary knowledge, skills, and also employability in using these frameworks. So the initial part, of course, was largely good because some infrastructure which are required to enable this and happen this across was done. And this infrastructure, which was largely in rollout of BharatNet, because that's an essential component. And of course, the promotion by some private sectors for internet access through using new mobiles and lowering the price structures were also great boost for the communities. So the framework for enabling that through the infrastructure, both supported by government and the private sector, was first released and across the country. And fortunately, over a long period of time, which has not happened across in the country, that access to internet was now available almost in every part of the country, especially those for people who live in rural India. So this access created one instrument which is available for people to try and make use of it. Besides that, what was required was that the ability of the citizen to use this infrastructure, which has been both by private and government released in various parts. The government of India, of course, realized this importance of it and started a program called Prime Minister Gramin Digital Saksharta Abhiyan. The objective was to train 60 million citizens, one in every family, over a period of time. And fairly large number of them has been trained. Many of them who are trained are first-time users of internet and first-time users of digital tools and technologies. Therefore, not only the infrastructure, but also the ability to make use of the infrastructure, and also ability to try and use various tools and technologies available both in the private and outside, was created by Prime Minister Gramin Digital Saksharta Abhiyan. As the name suggests, the objective of the entire program was largely to address the needs of rural India. For the urban area, of course, there are many opportunities available both outside the government, and of course, some facilitation work was done through the CSR funding of various organizations. So that is the second part which has happened, that digital literacy has been across done. The third, of course, was that creating the service delivery format, which is also important. So your infrastructure, you have the ability of people through a digital literacy program to use that infrastructure. And then, of course, the government preparedness to deliver various services. So the CSC digital framework, digital seva portal, which were created by Ministry of Electronics and IT, was one-stop shop in order to try and create the access to various services, both government and non-government, B2C service to citizen. In the assisted format, which is the Common Service Center, this actually is run and operated by a local entrepreneur who has the basic computing infrastructure, has the necessary skills in operating the computing structure, and of course deliver various services to citizens. There are about 400,000 of them in almost every panchayat across the country, and some in urban areas. And these men and women who operate the common service centers then enable citizens to access. So wherever there a citizen does not have the facility of owning a computing infrastructure, he can go to the nearest CSC and access various services. And these services are all inclusive. They start from education, they start from financial inclusion services of banking, insurance, pensions you can take, you can buy new products for banking, and of course, telemedicine. So all the various and many other government services which relates to uh, birth certificate, land record copy, and other part also can be made accessible to them. Many things which happened during the COVID, that many organizations like the electric bill collections also can be done through the common service centers. So a, a system, a continuous process of the government trying creating access point, leading infrastructure, enabling people to learn through digital tools and technologies, has created the whole environment in which you can now see the digital enablement of citizens across the country through the interventions of government and of course supported by the private sector has been a great game changer of creating a digitally inclusive society. This digitally inclusive society is now empowered to access, to try and learn new skills and also hone up and also, of course, take up any of the activity for commercial purposes of trying increasing their income. During the COVID time, there has been large challenges with many of these organizations have failed, many companies have failed. But I think COVID has also thrown up large number of opportunities. The opportunities came largely in the digital framework, and the data which is present shows that the UPI transaction or the banking transaction through Aadhaar-enabled payment system, which are about 7 crores in a 70 million in a month, which is fairly large numbers of these transactions have started now growing. So what was earlier being done on an evolutionary pace through the various interventions of government, the COVID actually try and aggravated that, try and enhance the acceptability and assimilation of these new initiatives of helping people to use digital technologies for empowering themselves and also getting access to various services. Today, fortunately, the entire thing has been laid out where the citizen, if he lives in villages, he doesn't have to go to a government office, he doesn't have to go to even a bank, or he doesn't go to any insurance company for availing service, or even in case of the OPD type services, he doesn't even have to travel to a hospital. He can online talk to the doctor and take the support for him. So all these necessary means the children can learn through the various programs. They want to learn on technology, they want to learn on basic education, they can do that part of them. The women can hone up their skills in trying cooking on other part through the use of the technology. And of course, the farmers get benefited because the farmers can do almost everything. They can do a teleconsultation with the scientists. They can buy products of fertilizers and seeds, and they can also sell products of their crops through an online platform. So not only the farmers are getting empowered and enabled, but there's a huge transformation in the attitude and the perception of the way the services are being rolled out and the way the acceptability of these services within the community is taking place. So digital enablement through the interventions of government and both private sector has transformed rural India, especially rural India. Now there are examples where people from urban areas who are getting job and who actually has traveled back to rural area, and the work from home approvals being given by government of India has also try and help people to stay wherever they are, wherever they want to. And if there's a good quality connectivity, they can operate from the same place, live in a good environment, and try and access to good food and quality of life and do that part of the work. So everything possible which is required for now onward for citizens to try and get digital equivalence, or in that sense, equality, equanimity, and of course, try and take forward these skills for empowering and enabling them to hone up and learn better ways of improving quality of life. Uh, we, during the COVID time, also launched a hyperlocal Grameen e-store, hyperlocal e-commerce platform, where the citizen in rural India can also place order online. This was available Tato only for urban customers, but this is through a Grameen e-store is now available even to rural citizens. So they also can place orders. They can also get similar products which are available in urban areas and get delivered. This also create a lot of employment opportunities because the store, which we digital store, which we now have, the Grameen store, also employs 4 to 5 people who work as digital cadets. They try and support in delivery of these goods to the customers. So entire transformation and a lot more happening around, very vibrant environment for this is the best time, and the COVID actually given opportunity for everybody to try and find out what best can be done, what more can be done, and how the quality of life for people who live in villages can be further improved significantly. And also this difference between urban and rural, at least in digital enablement, is reduced significantly. CSC is playing a significant role and will continue to do the same as we go along. So thank you so much, and I wish the entire seminar all the best, and hope that they will also send some more information, share some thought process, which we can then take it across in rural India through the common services. So thank you so much.